What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another top 10 video where we'll be counting down the top 10 people that Liu Bu has pissed off. Now, it's a different kind of video for me, I guess. We're just going to be talking about Liu Bu and his track record and the things that he's done in history or the games that made people really just not like the character. Which is kind of ironic since he is the most popular character from the Dynasty Warriors series. I would say he's the most liked and maybe the most fun to use, but in terms of the games and the histories and the characters inside the games, they absolutely don't like Liu Bu. I don't think Liu Bu has too many fans besides like Diao Chan and Zheng Liao and then, you know, maybe a couple other NPCs, but for the most part, most people don't like Liu Bu, and these are my picks for the top 10 that dislike him the most. Starting off with number 10, Hua Xiong.
I guess you were just another insect after all. Why you? I'm gonna kill you!
So Hua Xiong's gonna be on the lower end of this. I think just, maybe not a hatred for Liu Bu, but more of a just like negative rivalry, if that makes sense. I wouldn't say Hua Xiong hated Liu Bu. I just think that he didn't like, it's kind of like the Xiahou Dun Guan Yu effect going on, the jealousy, the I'm a better warrior kind of thing, is what I kind of get from Hua Xiong's feelings towards Liu Bu. And then Liu Bu with that smug little look on his face isn't going to help mend that relationship. So Hua Xiong's going to start off the list here at number 10. That's pretty much all I have for him. Not much else, just a little jealousy, I would say, from Hua Xiong. From a fellow warrior to another warrior. Let's go ahead and move on to number 9. Number 9 on my list is going to be Yuan Shu.
You're nothing but a savage beast. If you insist on spouting such inanity, then you can leave right now.
So Yuan Shu makes my list. There was a point in time when Liu Bu was underneath Yuan Shu. I don't think they explore it in the games. I don't really remember too many cutscenes or interactions with Liu Bu and Yuan Shu except for Extreme Legend, where he does like his impossible, shot. For the most part, when he was under Yuan Shu, there was already disdain from the beginning because Liu Bu thought that Yuan Shu kind of owed him like praise or like better treatment because of the way that he went about killing Dong Zhuo. He said he did them a favor, so he was expecting more. Yuan Shu said no, and in return, Liu Bu was very arrogant, and I think he ended up like plundering some of Yuan Shu's land. Definitely pissed off Yuan Shu a little bit. Is it deserved? Probably. Yuan Shu wasn't the best person either, but definitely a character who doesn't like Liu Bu. He's towards the lower end though, because I think their interaction is quite short. Then moving on to his half-brother, Yuan Shao.
Hey, what does our army think they are doing? I keep thinking of Liu Bu, even if he cannot be trusted. Let us show them what an army led by nobility can do!
So Yuan Shao coming in at number 8 for me, similar to Yuan Shu. I think he went in with the same attitude towards Yuan Shu because he came in and he was like, well, I killed Dong Zhuo to help you guys, the Yuans, and you're still not going to treat me the right way. In the games, they do highlight it a little bit in the earlier games, Dynasty Warriors 5. There's a small cutscene with both of them, so that was cool to see. But Yuan Shao, I definitely has a mix between fear and hatred for Liu Bu. And then again, similarly to Yuan Shu, he just was very arrogant, treated Yuan Shao and a lot of his people with contempt. He had his people just plunder the area once again. That's not how you want to build a relationship. Yuan Shao was really feeling the threat that Liu Bu imposed. Liu Bu sensed that Yuan Shao was suspicious of him, so he ended up taking off again. But before he did, of course, he's going to leave that kind of a scar on that person. So I definitely could say the Yuans were not a fan of Mr. Liu Bu. Moving on to number 7, very short, very sweet, but I think it's definitely a good spot for this character. Number 7 is going to be Ding Yuan.
This is my son-in-law, Liu Bu. No one can stand against him in battle. That also includes you.
I don't think he would appreciate being betrayed by him and getting killed. We don't know how he feels. That interaction's not explored in the games. And obviously after you get killed, you can't really say much. So Ding Yuan, super short, but I would believe that Ding Yuan would have some bitter, hateful, disdainful feelings towards Liu Bu after keeping him close, trusting him, and whatever it may be, and then Liu Bu stabs him in the back because he thought the grass was greener on the other side. Now, next up coming in at number 6, we've got Chen Gong.
Master Liu Bu, do you understand the situation we are in? Our very lives hang by a thread!
So this character is interesting because he goes through a couple different personality shifts, but I think it's similarly the same in a way. His NPC version, I would say, definitely dislike Lu Bu more. His playable version, you can sense like his some of the remarks he made, like if you just listened to me, this wouldn't have happened, things of that nature. But he isn't as. But I would say his NPC version was more brazen than his playable version. So you can sense the disdain, the disrespect, the what am I doing. And I would definitely say Chen Gong, since he was among the closest to Lu Bu, that would have a hatred for this character. Like, Lu Bu definitely pissed him off because he never listened to him. And again, going back to his playable version in Dynasty Warriors 9, dialogue sequences where he's like just arguing with him and he's like, you do what I say. I'm sure Chen Gong's not going to appreciate that. So, number 6 I think is a good choice here for Chen Gong right before we hit the top 5. Now, breaking into the top 5, this is a bitter, heated rivalry. This character I don't think would ever like Lu Bu, and that's going to be Zhang Fei.
I don't like you. Your face, the way you fight, nothing!
I mistook you for a fox, but now I see that you are nothing but a noisy dog!
Let's see you say that with my blade stuck in your throat!
Zhang Fei, at least in the games and maybe in history as well, it is a clear-cut hatred. Like, the hatred is so palpable. You could cut it with a knife. That's how much this character does not like Lu Bu. Of course, the betrayals don't help. Of course, the way they depicted in some of the games doesn't help. You got these two prideful, brazen men who are just full of testosterone, and they're not going to get along. And that's just one of the characters that Lu Bu definitely 100% left a hateful scar on, because I don't think Zhang Fei in any of the games ever, maybe in like Warriors Orochi where they have to like fight together because of extinction, right? But in terms of the games and potentially the history as well, the betrayal to Liu Bei, Zhang Fei's not going to forgive him. The arrogance that Lu Bu has, which is ironic because Zhang Fei has it too. The arrogance that Lu Bu has, Zhang Fei hates that. Everything that Lu Bu kind of does, I think Zhang Fei genuinely just does not like. So he's going to be here at number 5, and that's all I really have for him. Next up, coming in at number 4, we already talked about it in the previous one, but I would say he's a little bit more upset than the previous guy, and that's going to be Liu Bei.
Lu Bu is a man without a home. We cannot simply turn our backs on him.
Now, in the games, Liu Bei is shown in a different light, and he could have been different in history. He got betrayed, but I would say it definitely pissed him off, and maybe he just doesn't show it. So maybe Liu Bei should be at number 5, and Zhang Fei should be higher, because Zhang Fei shows it. But Liu Bei brought him in out of the kindness of his heart, being benevolent, all that, stuff that he preaches. And then Lu Bu goes and betrays him, puts him in a really awkward position, because Liu Bei's in the middle of Lu Bu's new territory, Yuan Shu. Cao Cao's on his left. He's stuck in this little spot right here. Lu Bu presses him, he ends up fleeing to Cao Cao. I would even go as far to say that he secretly hates him. He doesn't ever say it or really show it. Point is, I think Liu Bei is one of the top people that Lu Bu has definitely pissed off. Maybe he doesn't show it as much, but I think he definitely does not like Lu Bu. Alright, next up, coming in at number 3, we have Dong Zhuo.
Lu Bu! How dare you stab me in the back! You will pay! Huh! Don't make me laugh, you pig! It is I who shall surpass you, and it is I who shall rule the land!
So, Dong Zhuo coming in at number 3, kind of similar to the Ding Yuan thing. I just think a character that you bring in, Dong Zhuo kind of brought it upon himself. It's kind of karma, for what he was and what he did. But I would definitely say Dong Zhuo after his, Dynasty Warriors 6, they kind of give you a nice little hypothetical, right? He comes back from the grave, he does a little cutscene. That's pretty cool. And I would say that's pretty accurate in how Dong Zhuo would have been able, if he had the chance, obviously, to speak after death, that's probably what he would have said. But I could definitely show just the way we know Dong Zhuo's personality is, I could definitely see him having a deep-seated, grudge and hatred full of, sludge and darkness, just never getting over the fact that happened to him. I could see that 100%. And Dynasty Warriors 6 was the only game that we kind of get a little light on that, because he gets that fictional return. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I would say it's pretty straightforward. Dong Zhuo definitely is going to be among the highest when it comes to hatred for Lu Bu. If you get killed by the character, especially in Betrayal, not a fun place to be. So let's go ahead and move on to number 2. And then coming in at number 2, Silver Medal, one of the highest people that Lu Bu has pissed off, it's going to be Cao Cao.
Just as I expected, Lu Bu. You are stronger than anybody, but more foolish as well.
Now, Cao Cao is a no-brainer for being on the list. I think he's among the highest when it comes to people that Lu Bu piss off, because the Shu Province thing, he was attacking Shu Province and he had to retreat because Lu Bu was being a freaking pest, killing his people, taking over his land, causing Xiahou Dun to lose his eye. in like indirectly, you know. So I think Cao Cao definitely, he was definitely, I don't know if it potentially could have been hate, but definitely pissed off, like this, like a nuisance, a thorn in my ass kind of annoyance for Cao Cao and Lu Bu's relationship. Yeah, I would say it's less of hatred for Cao Cao, and maybe there's a little bit of hatred. Less of hatred, but more of like a nuisance. More something that he needs to nip in the bud before it gets worse. And I would say, I would even throw the whole entirety of Wei during that time, Xiahou Dun, Xiahou Yuan, you know, all the people that were there with him, they could definitely probably sense the annoyance from Cao Cao and how annoyed they probably felt. I mean, Xiahou Dun he's probably a good honorable mention for this list because he was the one at Puyang and got, you know, his ass kicked. You know, you got Li Dian over there who lost his uncle to him and everything. So Cao Cao, I think, embodies the entire Wei force for pissing off, or being pissed off by Lu Bu. So I think Cao Cao is a solid choice for the silver medal. Let's go ahead and move on to number 1. And the number one person that Lu Bu has pissed off, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, is you. That's right. Number 1 on the list is the fan base. Not because we don't like the character. Again, it's ironic. We love him. He's popular. But when we go against him, you cannot tell me this dude don't piss you off. I remember specifically on Sha Pi, Dynasty Warriors 4, okay? Sha Pi, you have to fight Lu Bu. You have to get through the stage by beating him. This dude on easy is still so hard to beat. Like, he's the command. There's no choice. You have to fight him. Lu Bu, I'm gonna assume, and I could be wrong, you guys let me know down below, has pissed you off the most in Dynasty Warriors. Like, I would go out and say, on a stretch, for most of us, when it comes to this game, Lu Bu has killed us the most. And that's all I have for the video. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. Lu Bu's a great character. He's one of my favorites from the game, as like I said, one of the most popular. He's got a really cool story when they give him one. I don't have anything against the character, just a fun little video to do. And let me know your guys' Lu Bu horror stories down below. That's all I have for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.